Pellet stove, MBS Pellet. MBS pellet stoves are made in 3 different versions: 6, 8.5 and 10 kilowatts. MBS pellet stoves are made in 3 different colors: cream, red and black. The stove is produced and tested according to the European standard EN 14785. The external components of pellet stove are: fire door with a thermo-resistant glass, ashtray door, ashtray, burner cup, ceramic plate, storage door, display, legs, connection cable for power supply. On the back side of the pellet stove there are fume outlet, main switch, probe for measuring temperature in the room. Internal components of the stove are thermostat probe, which is attached to the storage and used to turn off the stove if storage temperature exceeds critical limit. Fan for convection, which injects hot air into the room. Connector, which is attached to the hose of the pressure switch and used to turn off the stove in case of chimney blockage or opening fire door. Sensor for measuring the temperature of exhaust gases, which controls modes of the stove. Control panel. Pipe for the air intake, through which the air for the combustion of pellets enters. Lighter pipe and lighter that lights the pellets. Engine for exhaust gases, which ejects combustion products in the external environment. Engine for the insertion of pellets, which injects pellets into a burner cup. The control panel allows you to communicate with the programmer using the buttons. Buttons: increasing and reducing the temperature and program functions, changing the day, time, etc. Changing program: set, on, off buttons, exit the program, reducing and increasing the intensity of heating. Display in the central part of the control panel. Clock for setting programs, heater, schematic representation of pellets, turbine, exhaust fan, fresh air fan, alarm indicator, clock for setting time, room temperature indicator, information on the work of the stove. Temperature and heating capacity of the stove can be adjusted by remote control. Preparation and commissioning. With a dry cloth, wipe the glass on the firebox door, lateral sides, ceramic tile and storage door. Connect the stove to the chimney and plug the cable into electricity. Insert pellets into the storage. When the stove is connected to an electric source, transfer an electric switcher located on the back of the stove in position 1. Then, on the display the following message appears: time, room temperature, value of the heating intensity from position 1 to position 5, and message off, which shows that stove is not in the function. Button 4 for turning on. Hold button 4 for a few seconds. The change of the message on the display from off to start indicates the start of the work of the stove. Then the heater activates, which is followed by the message lighter weight. After this message, messages pellet load and fire weight appear intermittently, which means that charging and insertion of pellets into the burner started and lighting the fire in the firebox is to be expected. When flame shows up into the burner, the lighter turns off and the message flame light must be shown on the display. After establishing a stable flame, message work will show up on the display. Upon reaching the given ambient temperature, or temperature of water in the boiler, the stove transfers to economy mode, where fuel savings are achieved, and the display shows the message Work Modulator. There are 3 types of programming the stove: daily, weekly, weekend programming. The stove is turned off by pressing the button number 4 for about 2 to 3 seconds. Feeder stops working. Exhaust fan stays on for about 10 minutes until the exhaust temperature drops below the set point, and during that time the flame is extinguished and the temperature of the stove goes down. This activity is followed by the message cleaning final. After the cooling of the stove, the fan stops working and the message off is showing on the display, which means that the stove is turned off. Cleaning and maintenance of the stove. When cleaning the stove, turn off the stove and pull out the cable from electric source. Clean the stove only when it is cold. Every day, after using, when the stove and ash cool down, clean the ashes from the firebox. Pay attention that container for burning pellets is clean and the openings for the airflow are still passable. Use vacuum for cleaning the firebox. Once a month, thoroughly clean the firebox and the area behind the ashtray, removing the lid. The cover can be removed by removing the 4 screws. Restore all parts in reverse order. Pellet stoves are an excellent example of functionality.